Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure and my joy to introduce to you the next generation of Superfan, the nephew of Bill and Bob Swerski, Dave Swerski, ladies and gentlemen.
Look at the back
of my friends.
Hello, my friends.
Hey, that's one heck of a sweater you got on there, my
Thank you very much. I got it for Christmas one year.
Now, listen,
That's fantastic.
I grew up, I like the Bears because of Walter Payton. I mean, I'm from Pittsburgh. Let's preface that by saying I'm a massive Steeler fan, but I always liked the Bears because of Walter Payton. They also had a guy named Brian Bashnagel, was a wide receiver, went to Ohio State. Brian Bashnagel. I think he held, and I think he was a holder too. But anyway, he went to my high school,
84.
and he was like the legend, right? Yeah, he was 84, and it was like, oh, Brian Bashnagel. So I have a soft spot for the Bears, and I know it's been a rough year. So if you could kind of review the season, how would you review the season of the Bears this year? High hopes with the #1 pick.
Yeah, the beginning of the season was incredible. We had the highest hopes that I can remember over the last little while. Like I was the last couple of years, I really thought Justin Fields maybe could be the guy, but then this year felt even better with 2 top 10 picks. You know, they lined up the weapons for the new guy, and we all thought we were going to be awesome. Preseason was fantastic. We really kicked preseason's ass. It was great. And then, immense disappointment. We were 4-2 in London after the London game, and then after that, it was a train wreck. Yeah. So it's been brutal, and it's one of those things. I was excited to hopefully do a bunch of happy songs, and instead I tapped into the misery, and people love the pain. So you know, it is what it is.
Well, the Hail Mary against the Commanders, that's both teams went opposite directions from that moment. Where were you watching that moment?
Oh, man, I was like you said, I live in LA now. So I moved to Los Angeles from the Midwest almost 20 years now. So I've been here for quite a while. So I watch all the games. I'm in the new generation of people where you don't necessarily have to live where the team is to watch it. Exactly. I had Sunday ticket my whole life.
I know. Right.
I was watching that one here, totally gutted. Every game that I do, I take notes kind of during the game and then try to figure out what I'm going to do afterwards. And that one just gutted me. But I went to an old standard, the Sound of Silence for that one. And that ended up being my most watched song ever.
Yes. So it was great.
Darkness, my old friend.
That's right.
Now
back into darkness once again.
Yes, sir.
How often do you get back to see a Bears game in person? Do you travel back to Chicago at all?
Yeah, I went back the last one this year. I went to the Vikings game that we went into overtime. So I thought I was going to be a lucky charm. Every time I've been there, we've won. And so I thought it was going to be again. I had a show in town. Actually, the first time I did this on stage. So I did about 45 minutes of music and stand-up kind of stuff as Dave Swerski at the Promontory there.
That's awesome.
Did WGN hits and stuff while I was at home, and then went to the game. It was crazy, too, because I didn't go quite as get-uppy. I was just wearing a sweatshirt and a coat because it was cold and had the stash and everything. And I was having grown men my father's age like tackle me in the concourse like, I love you, man. Yeah. Like it was pretty cool.
It's a big thing. It was a big thing for us. We sat in bars and did this all night long. We had nothing else to do.
Now, I have to is the mustache real? The mustache is real or fake?
What do you think?
I don't know.
It looks good.
It looks, you know what? It's real enough for me. Keith, you had a couple questions.
Well, my first question is, have the Bears interviewed you for their head coaching position yet?
I'm still waiting on that call, my friend. I sent up the Ditka signal to try to see if they would hire him back. You know, I think he's got 1 or 2 more good years left.
Right.
But if not Ditka, I am ready to wear the B, the cursive B, and get this going for our team.
Yeah, I thought maybe that first they would interview one of your uncles, and I didn't want there to be any inter-family strife there because they would also make fine coaches.
They would make great coaches. This is kind of the problem, though. So we have like the Ben Johnson on the one side, then we have let's say Mike McCarthy and Pete Carroll on the other side. We have 2 different schools of thought.
Yes,
and I am of the mind that we should maybe move towards the younger generation of leadership.
Yes,
in the city of Chicago.
Yes,
so we'll see.
Or we could merge the 2 and go with like a Cliff Kingsbury, who may have had he's a younger fellow who had some head coaching experience, but also has some experience with Caleb, and maybe even bring the Flus back because he was kind of good as a defensive guy. So let him do defense.
But wait, bring Kingsbury in, the man who designed the Hail Mary play that destroyed your season.
Exactly.
Yes. I still wonder if they didn't bring him in as OC because they knew that was a little bit of a threat to the juice, to Eber Juice. Because I felt like, I don't know, they brought in a guy who they knew was under juice, and then like if Kingsbury comes in, they fire Kingsbury. Or I mean, they fired Flus
in Kingsbury. That's why Flus didn't want him there, and you can see that. That's exactly why.
Now, the video we showed before of the Christmas themed one. Yeah. How long? Yeah. How do you go about making one of those, and how long does it take you? Because I always wonder these really these are intense, heavy videos. There's a lot of editing. So how long did it take you to do that one?
So it's funny because my wife, and so you asked about the stash. My wife is a makeup artist out here in Los Angeles. So she, I'm not going to tell you if it's real or not, but it looks real
good.
Enough. But she will make fun of me because I say it takes me forever. But truly, what happens is I never predetermine a song. So the game happens, and then I try to like rack my brain around what song to do. And then it's a matter of I've never played the song usually before. I've never sung the song before, so I have to pick the song, learn the song, rewrite all the lyrics. And then for that one specifically, I had never done all that a cappella stuff either. So I had to figure out all of those parts. But I always get them out within a day. The most it ever takes me is 2 days. And that's usually because like I'm traveling when I was in Chicago and had to come back and do it. It took me a couple days, but they usually only take me about 24 hours. I just dive in full force and I shoot it all myself. I edit it all myself and then put it out. So but it's a beast. I mean,
it's a full day or two. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's a full day.
You are quite the musician, my friend.
Yeah, and there's a couple.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot.
A couple comments from our regular viewers here. Even until I've seen this guy's videos, they're funny. Someone new in the room here. Is that PCam40Q? Maybe that's a friend of yours or a fan. We appreciate
PCam. I don't know.
Okay, well,
I know him.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we got a new fan. Dave Swerski makes being a Bears fan a little less painful. And JR, our very own JR, who works at the ballpark here and who's also an accomplished sports guy. As a guy who lived in Chicago 14 years, I still pay attention to a lot of Chicago stuff. Swerski and his crew are great. So there you go.
Yeah.
Now,
that's incredible.
That's so nice. Fans. I got to think one of the most incredible things was when you actually did this with some of the guys who were the crew. So could you tell us how that happened, how they contacted you? That must have been a thrill.
Oh, it was incredible. So to kind of go backwards, this is the second season that I've completed doing this. So last season, that summer before, it was the strikes out here for actors and things. And obviously I moved to Los Angeles to be an actor when I'm stashless. And I was honestly trying to figure out what to do. I had done some like stop motion stuff and some other things as not Dave Swerski. And I did a fantasy football draft that I run as the commissioner. I did it in character. And I know George Wendt. I've met him out here quite a few times.
Wow,
no kidding.
Yeah, so I had played a show with another buddy of mine, and I was at the bar and literally like got tapped on the shoulder, and I turned around and it's Norm from Cheers.
Come on,
at a bar,
and he was like, "You're really talented." Like, and we kept in touch ever since. So I went as a super fan for Halloween a few years, and like we kind of just kept in touch. And so when the strikes hit, I did this fantasy draft, and my wife was like, "That's what you should do. Like, put that on the internet. Like, just do it." And so I went to George and I was like, "Hey, I don't want to step on toes. Like, are you cool with this?" And he's like, "I'm totally cool with it. I'm sure Odenkirk and Smigel, who are the ones that came up with it, are fine with it too. You know, just be wary of like if the long arm of the NBC
Lorne Michaels,
but he's like, go for it. You know, do your thing." And I started just doing like skits. And then the first parody song that I did was it wasn't Hello Darkness, it was Behind Blue Eyes. Behind his stash.
Behind his stash.
No one knows what it's like to be the sad man behind his stash. And that one shot up to over 1 million plays, and I had like no followers. So I was like, okay, there's something here. And I told George, I was like, hey, Uncle Bob, this is a thing. And he's like, oh, run with it.
Awesome.
So fast forward through the year, the first year kind of went crazy. I had multiple things that went over 1 million. And then the summer came last year. The Bears invited me to the draft.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
For the draft. I got to be on the field. I kicked a field goal.
That video was great.
Yeah, I remember you showed me. Oh my God.
So fun.
Yeah, they
so
contacted you this year?
Drafting. Not yet.
Okay.
They better.
Yeah.
But my video I did for the draft was very successful. So we'll see.
That's what I'm saying. They like the influencers. It's an NFL thing. They're all using the influencers. We had we're trying to get a hold of the guy that does the
Colts
Indianapolis
stuff?
Colts thing. He's goofy
Seth.
guy. Yeah.
Right, we believe.
We believe. Yeah.
Oh, I hated that when they beat us. But anyway, So I did the draft thing, and then I was in talks with George, and they had a gig in Kansas City. They do a thing. So
it's Sudeikis.
Is actually his nephew.
Yeah, he used to be out here with Second City.
Big Slick.
Yeah,
they do the Big Slick, which is a huge charity event, and they were going to do the Superfans, and Robert and George were talking about trying to do one of my songs or something with me, and I was all ready to do it, and then they ended up getting Travis Kelce and Pat Mahomes to do the gig with them, and Jason Sudeikis. And they had Jason Sudeikis as Todd, who was Chris Farley, on Ozempic and open heart surgery.
That's good.
So I got bumped. So, it's like, if you're going to get bumped, Ted Lasso is an okay guy to bump you. So,
there you go.
I reached out to Robert and I just said, hey, thanks for even considering me. It's a big honor. I'm a huge fan. And then he's like, actually, I'm doing a gig in Chicago. Why don't you come do that with me? So in June, I got to go perform with the OG himself, with the Godfather, with my uncle Carl. And we did a multiverse of super fans that we sang 3 songs together, and it was awesome. It's super cool.
It's the multiverse. I love it. You've become Marvel. All right, where can people find your social media stuff? We want to thank you for being on and give you some shout outs here. What do you got?
Of course. At Dave Swerski everywhere. So I'm TikTok and Instagram are the big ones. I heard you guys talk about TikTok too. Good God, I hope that continues.
I do too.
TikTok's the only one that really pays people, which is great. They pay you for your creativity, and none of the other ones do. I've gotten checks for 20 cents from Meta. So it's, everywhere is at Dave Swerski. You can also support the Red Cross for the Southern California
we would show
wildfires. redcross.org/Dave Swerski. And we're building this thing. We're going to see. I got some cool brand opportunities coming up that I won't divulge yet, but I'm hoping work out here in the next couple of months. So
I was going to ask if you're going to keep it going, because it's the only thing we're looking forward to, because it's going to take years before this thing turns around. The old lady won't die.
Thing, that's right.
It is.
Team Virginia. Yes. I just want to thank everybody who's been so supportive, because I feel like sports can be really combative and kind of ugly. And what's been really cool is the support system I built with this is a bunch of awesome sports fans who also aren't jerks to each other. Like we have like a lot of fun with each other, but it's like a mostly positive place. I like to think it's like Ted Lasso with the Swerskis, kind of combining into hopefully a source for good. And people have been so great. And the best compliment is that I'm helping fans get through a really tough road, and hopefully we all get to celebrate very soon. I still believe that we are on the right track with Caleb and with Rome, and hopefully with what they just build the offensive line and the defensive line, please.
That's all you got to do.
Agreed, my friend.
All right, listen, we'll have you on again maybe around the draft of the season. We'd love to have you come back. All right, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
You guys are the best.
Talk to you soon. God bless.
Outstanding. Thanks for watching that clip of Punchlines with me, Frank Nicotero. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe. We live stream the show Monday through Friday from 12 to 1 p.m. And if you want to listen to our podcast, go to your favorite podcast platform. All the details are in the description below. We'll catch you on the next one.